I bet they'll. I bet they'll go back to English when it starts.
Yeah, they'll go back to class. They're just getting into the fun things. I don't know. I don't know if you know
Okay, Rabbi, we on.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and Moadim L'Simcha, a joyous Sukkot, which we are in the middle of. For our service this morning, we'll have some special readings, passages for the Shabbat that falls during Sukkot. First thing you have to know coming in, we have some of our Bar Mitzvah class here. So welcome to our students. And we have two different books for your Bar Mitzvah. You get to choose which book you'll be in. This morning we are in the red book, Sidur Lev Shalem, and we're going to start with Matovu on page 101.
Shabbat Shalom.
99, we give thanks for our bodies and for our souls. Elohai neshama shenatata tehorai. Elohai neshama shenatata tehorai. Adha virata, adha yitzarha, adha nefanavi, adha mishamra v'kirvi. Elohai neshama shenatata tehorai. Elohai neshama shenatata tehorai. Ba'atid v'la mimeni u'achzila v'la ilavo. Kol zman shama v'kirbi modani lefanecha. Adonai Elohai v'Elohei Avotai v'im lohotai Ribon kol ha'asim Adon kol ha'neshamot. Elohai neshama shenatata tehorai. Elohai neshama shenatata tehorai. Baruch atah Adonai hamachazir neshamot nifgarim metim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher tzarta b'chokmah. It is known and revealed to you that should even a single passageway of our bodies rupture or a single opening close up, it would no longer be possible to exist and to stand before you. Baruch atah Adonai, healer of all flesh, who creates wondrously. 103 are blessings for the new day. We give thanks for small miracles, for the miracle of being awake and alive, of being able to open our eyes and to see, of finding the ground firm beneath our feet in the morning. For all these miracles, food to eat and clothing to wear, we give thanks. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan l'sachivina l'havkin bein yom u'bein layla. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani b'tzalmo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani b'chorim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam v'hokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ma'albish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ma'atir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokek nefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rocha haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaber. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asa lekol tzorki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Ozer Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Eloheinu laya'ed haolam. Today and every day may you look upon us, and may all who see us look upon us with eyes filled with kindness, love, and compassion. Act toward us with kindly love. Baruch atah Adonai, who acts with kindly love to the people Israel. 107. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asot b'divrei Torah. May you make the words of your Torah sweet in our mouths, and in the mouths of the house of Israel, your people, so that we, our children, and all the children in the house of Israel may come to know your name and study Torah for its own sake. Baruch atah Adonai Hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. Bottom of the heaven. These are the deeds that yield immediate fruit and continue to yield fruit in time to come. Honoring parents, performing deeds of kindness and love, attending the house of study morning and evening, providing hospitality, visiting the sick, helping the needy bride, attending the dead, probing the meaning of prayer, making peace between one person and another and between loving partners. The Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, the study of Torah, is the most basic of them all. Page 122. Baruch Shamar says that praise be the one who spoke and the world came to be. It recalls the Exodus, the Genesis creation story where God says, Vayehi, let there be, and then there is. And it reminds us that we too create the worlds that we inhabit with the words that we speak. We speak words of kindness, we will most likely receive kindness in return. When we speak words of harshness and complaint, that will be the world that we inhabit. So we, like God, should be careful with the words that we choose. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam barechu. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam barechu. Baruch Hosei Bereshit. Baruch Omer V'Yosef. Baruch Ozer Ukayim. Baruch Merachem al ha'aretz. Baruch Merachem al ha'briot. Baruch Shamar v'haya ha'olam barechu. Baruch Shamar v'haya ha'olam barechu. Baruch Meshalem Sachar Tov. Mishalem Sachar Tov l'Re'av. Baruch Hayla Dekayam Lanetzach. Baruch Godel U'Matzil. Baruch Shemo. Baruch Shamar v'haya ha'olam barechu. Baruch Shamar v'haya ha'olam barechu. Singular, one who gives life to the world, praised and glorified forever and ever. This is your great name. Baruch atah Adonai, melech me'olam v'tihishbachon. It's time for the Shabbat day, page 134. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai. U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. V'hagid b'boker chasdecha, ve'emunat lecha b'leilot, alei asur v'alei navel, alei higayon v'chinor. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai. U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Yisamachtani Adonai b'cholaka, v'ma'asei yadecha randen, ma'adalu ma'asecha Adonai, le'olam ku'machshevotecha. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai. U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Sadikatamardi fra Eres Vano Yiskadulim Bevekadonai Bechasro Davaheinu Yavrichu Odinu Meseva V'shenim Meranim Yehiyu Lehagi Ki Asar Adonai Suri Suri Velo
I know. What?
41. Hallelujah, 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 as we all show. Hallelujah, Mirki Aluzah. Hallelujah, Vigorota. Hallelujah, Kirota. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 take our shofar. Hallelujah, now let me know. Hallelujah, come to my home. Hallelujah, believe God. Hallelujah, 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 it's your slave, Shama. Hallelujah, it's your slave, Shama. Hallelujah, come to my home. Hallelujah, believe God. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Woziva Zimrat 143. This is from the Song at the Sea. Holy One, you are my strength and my song and will be a source of liberation.
So the lyrics are Ozi Vizimradya by Lee Yeshua. 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 Ozi Vizimradya by Lee
147. Ha'el v'tachumot uzecha shochen ad marom kadosh shemo. You can go back to the one now Avida Nishabda Amishikha Yeshtabach Shimcha Ve'ad Malkunu Kachot Borah U'Be'atav Yadolham Baruch atah Adonai El Melech Gadol V'Tishbachot El Hodahot Adon Niflaot Abucher B'Shirei Shimra Melech Elchei HaOlamim. Yitkedal v'yitkedash shemei Rabbah Yamad Ibrahim Yamlik Malchutei V'chayeh Olu Yomero U'chayeh Lecho Beit Yisrael B'Gam U'Bizman Karim V'Yemeru Amen Yeshnei Rabbah Mevorah Ve'olam Me'almaya Yetzara Yitbarach V'Yishabach V'Tvar V'Trama V'Tnaset V'Yitadar V'Yitaleh V'Yitalal Shemei L'Kudsha B'Richu Le'ela Mikol Birchata V'Shirata Tusbechata V'Nekemata Shami Rabbi Allah V'Yemru Amen. We rise as able. Marku, page 149. Yai, lai, 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 Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or u'borech hoshat Ose Shalom Uberei Akom. With kindness you illumine the earth and all who dwell on it, and in your goodness day after day you renew creation. Sovereign, you alone ruled on high from the very beginning, praised, glorified, and exalted since earliest time. Amazing. Page 151. El Adon Kol Masim Baruch Levorak B'Fikol Nishama Baruch Levo Male Olam Na'am B'Tuna Hasod B'Bimoto Amikael Hayot HaKodesh Neder B'Kavod Ala Merkava Zazud B'Mishor Livnei Chiso Kasabarami Livnei Kiboto Tobi Moro Shabara Eloheinu Yitzoram B'Nad Davina Umaskem Goam Gurav Natan Bahem Viot Mushim Bekerim Tebel Beleim Zirum Mefikim Noga Naezibam Bechol HaOlam Shveim B'Setam B'Sasim B'Boam Tosim B'Himar Tzom Kodam Ke'er B'Chavod Yodi L'Shmo Zohol Rina L'Zakar Malkuto Karal Shemesh Vayisra Or Ra V'Hiti Tzoram Havana Shabbat Yodi Lo Kol Tzvam Maron Kim Peret Ugedulam Shofilo Panim V'Chayot HaKodesh. Baruch Hashem 153. Barak Solim Malkeinu V'Golenu Borei Kedoshim. You fashion beings that serve you, your servants stand at the edges of the universe, proclaiming reverently with one voice the words of the living God, the sovereign of the universe. Kulam Aluvim, Kulam Urim, Kulam Hiburim. At Shema Melech HaGadol, you were on the rock, Adoshu. V'kulam mekablim aleim malchut shamayim semizev nodim reshut zeh like vishliot shram v'nachat ruach v'sparim ha'kedusha kulam ke'echad onim v'omrim v'yirah Kadosh 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 Adonai Tzebaot v'lo kol haaretz kevodo Ofani v'chayim l'kodesh v'rashtadu mitasim v'umat shrafim Umatam Shabkim ve'omrim Baruch Kavod Adonai B'imkomo Ve'baruch Imo Yitzir Going to be my separation. Amo Serim Gilhim Lancasto Or Chadash Al Zion Tahir Or Chadash Al Zion Tahir V'nizkah Kulanu Mehera Le'oro Baruch Atah Adonai God Yisrael Abba Rabba Tanu Adonai Eloheinu Hem L'Gedolav Terach Hamal Prazeinu Avinu Malkeinu Avor Avotim Imotenu Shabatu Becha Shabatu Becha Shabatu Becha Batel Amenu Gehaim Lamenu Lamenu Avinu Haba Barak Haman Habrake Rakem Aleinu Remember Vivinu Lahavi Ve'Havinu Lahavi להשכיל, לשמוע ללמוד וללמד, לשמור ולעשות, ולקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה. והערננו בתורתך, ולמדנו במצוותיך, ויפל לבבנו, ואהבה ויראה את שמך, ולא נעבוד לעולם ועד, ולא נעבוד לעולם ועד, כי בשם קודשך הגדול הנורא והתמנו, נגילה ונשמחה, נגילה ונשמחה בישועתך. אבינו שלום ויברך לארצנו לארצנו ויבוא לשבתך. אנו בקרב מכל העם ולשלום ירחם שמענו ושמו באמת. תודות לך ליחדך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוקר בעמו ישראל באהבה. Page 155. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Yailai, Yailai, Lalai, Lalai, Yailai, Yailai, Lalai, 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 Yailai, Lalai, Lalai, Yailai, Lalai, Lalai. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol me'odecha, v'hayu hadavarim ha'ela, asher Elohim tzavaka, hayom ha'levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibartam bam, v'shivtecha b'beitecha, uv'lechtecha b'derech, uv'shokbecha v'kumecha, uv'shartam l'rota yadecha, v'hayu levavecha b'einecha, uv'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'yisharecha. And let's start.
wonder when the party would happen.
Lamahantiskaru Vasitan at Homispatai, Vitan Gidoshim Leoetan, Ani Adonai Eloetan, Asher Osetiatam, Meres Mitzrayim, Leolatam Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohetan, Adonai Elohetan. Our homage is to God on high, who is ever praised. Moses and Miriam and the people of Israel joyfully sang this song to you. Tilo le'oyon, Baruch hu mevorach, Moshe Miriam b'nei Yisrael, Lahanu shira b'simcha rabah, v'amru kulam. Page 153. Yisrael, Kumam Ezra Yisrael, Ufeinu Yisrael, Go Aleinu Adonai Sabaoth Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Adonai, God Yisrael. We rise as people for the Tefillah, page 159. Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufia Gittehilatecha Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Eloheinu B'Noteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor V'Nurah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot B'Imahot Maybe God Me'ah, V'ma Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Hoser Moshe U'Magid, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magid Avraham, U'Ked Sarah. 160. Atagi Borle Elam Adonai, B'Chayim Kimat Aravo, Shia Murid Hatam, B'Chokel Chayim B'Chesed, B'Chayim Mekim B'Raham, Somech Noflim B'Rofek Holim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato, V'Shenei Avar, Michamot Chaval Gehurot, U'Mino Melach, Melech Me'mit U'Mechayek, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, Ne'eman Atah Chayot Me'im, Baruch Atah Adonai, B'Chayek, Nekadesh et Shimcha ba'olam, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, וכתוב על יד ביחד, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ, אז בקול רעש גדול אדיר וחזק משמיעים קול, מנסים ומצרפים, ומותם ברוך יאמרו, ברוך כבוד במקומך מלכנו תופיע ותמלוך עלינו, כי מחכים אנחנו לך. מתי תמלוך בציון בקרוב בימינו לעולם ועד תשכון. ונעמתי כירושלים עירך, ודור ודור נצח נצחים. איננו דורנו מלכותך, כדבר אמור בשיבי עוזך, על ידי דוד משיח צדקך. ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור. Hallelujah. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, לנצח נצחים קדושת הנקיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מקינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. כי המלך גדול וקדוש אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Continue with the rest of Tefillah on our own through page 165, the Hebrew or the English for your own heart's private prayers.
It seems like my mom to me.
May the prayers of
I'm trying to find the pitch. Say shalom Yirama, Hallelujah. Say shalom, Hallelujah. Say shalom Yirama, Hallelujah. Say shalom Yirama, Hallelujah. Say shalom, Hallelujah. Say shalom Yirama, Hallelujah. Say shalom, Hallelujah. Yah say shalom, Yah say shalom, shalom, hallelujah for Israel. Yah say shalom, Yah say shalom, shalom, hallelujah for Israel. Yah say shalom, Yah say shalom, shalom, hallelujah for Israel. Yah say shalom, Yah say shalom, shalom, hallelujah for Israel.
So for Shabbat Chol Hamoed Sukkot, this Shabbat in the midst of Sukkot, we had the Hallel Psalms, the songs of praise that mark our holidays. We rise as able for Hallel, starting on page 316. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'sha'o v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et ha'alel. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Adonai, hallelujah, Shem Adonai, Yishem Adonai b'orach me'atah v'adolam. Yevardal mitzvot yarim evyon, lo shivim nidim niveamo, lo shivim bayit im habanim smecha, hallelujah. Say Yisrael, Mitzrayim, May Yaakov, May Amloes. Say Yisrael, Mitzrayim, May Yaakov, May Amloes. Hayta Yehuda Lekodsho, Yisrael, Am Shelotav, Hayan Rabianos, Ayarden Yisov Le'achor, Habim Rakut Ehelim, Yeraot Yibnei Tzon. Let's say Yisrael, Mitzrayim, May Yaakov, May Amloes. Let's say Yisrael, Mitzrayim, May Yaakov, May Amloes. For the second half of Psalm 114, on the bottom of page 316, it's a call and response. So just repeat after me. Malaka Hayam Itanus Hayarden Tisov Le'achur Eharim Tirkedu He'elim Givaot Kivnei Tzon Milifnei Adon Huli Aretz Milifnei Elohai Yaakov Ahotchi Hatzur Agamayim Halamish Lemainomayim Israel Boteach Adonai Ezram V'Yinahu V'Yaakov B'Tchuv Adonai Ezram U'Meginahu Yirei Adonai B'Tchuv Adonai Ezram U'Meginahu Adonai Zahar Yivarech Yivarech El Kol Beit Yisrael Hashamayim Shamayim L'Adonai Ve'ha'aretz Natan L'Bnei Adam Lo hametim Hallelujah V'lo Kol Yodei Duma V'anachnu Nevarech Ya Me'ata V'yad Olam Hallelujah 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 Atishmana et povita Adonai. How can I repay Adonai for all that has been done for me? I shall raise up the cup of deliverance and call out the name Adonai. I shall fill my vows to Adonai in front of all God's people. How great in Adonai's sight is the death of the faithful. Surely Adonai, your servant, for your maidservant, you have untied the bonds that bound me. L'chazbach zevach todah v'shem Adonai ekra. V'nirei Adonai shalem, negana l'chol amo. V'chatzrot beit Adonai v'tochei Yerushalayim. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Adonai koveim shavhu kol ha'umim. You are the Chasto Memet Adonai le'olam. Hasto Hallelujah. Hodu Adonai ki tov le'olam le'olam chasto. Ya ba 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 bye bye ya ba 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 bye ya ba 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 bye ya ba 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 bye bye ya ba 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 bye ya ba 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 bye Yomarna Yisrael Le'olam Hasto. Ya ba 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 bye bye ya ba 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 bye ya ba 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 bye ya ba 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 bye bye ya ba 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 bye ya ba 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 bye Yamuna Avitaros Le'olam Hasto. Yamuna Avitaros Le'olam Hasto. Ya ba 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 bye bye ya ba 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 bye ya ba 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 bye ya ba 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 bye bye ya ba 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 bye ya ba 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 Yamuna Yirei Adonai Mina mesa karatia ane the merkanya. Oh, zebras and radia by Yeshua. Influencer instead of Olam Odeya, Zahashar Ladonai Sanikim Yavo. And this is all from here on, also call and response, page 320. Odecha Kiani Ani Vatehi Yeshua. Odecha Kiani Ani Vatehi Yeshua. Even Masu Habonim Haitam Rosh Bina. Even Masu Habonim Haitam Rosh Bina. Me'ed Adonai Haitazon Iniflot Beineinu. Me'ed Adonai Haitazon Iniflot Beineinu. Zehayom Asa Adonai Man Nagila V'nismecha Bo. Zehayom Asa Adonai Nagila V'nismecha Bo. An Adonai Hoshiana. An Adonai Hoshiana. Adonai Hatzlichana. Adonai Hatzlichana. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai berachnuchem mibeit Adonai. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai berachnuchem mibeit Adonai. Ehel Adonai ve'yamanu yishur chag bavotim ad karnot hamizbeach. Ehel Adonai ve'yamanu yishur chag bavotim ad karnot hamizbeach. Eliata ve'odecha Elohai aromim mehecha. Eliata ve'odecha Elohai aromim mehecha. Hodu Adonai ki tov, ki le'olam chasto. Hodu Adonai ki tov, ki le'olam chasto. Baruch atah Adonai melech mehumal v'tishbacho. 172. Little further. 168. Service for the reading. Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, v'yein k'ma'asecha, malchut lecha v'malchut kol ha'olamim, u'menshaltecha b'kol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imach ve'olam va'ed. Adonai Hosea Boyim, Adonai Yevarech, Elamo Basham. Avarami, Heitiv Avirtzonka, Etzion, Timekomo, Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, Yivelcha v'Rabbamu, Melech Elam v'Yisrael, Adonai. Volunteer to carry the Torah? You feeling wrongish this morning? Okay. Vayivin so Aharon, Vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai, V'yafutzu Orevecha, V'yanutzu Mesamecha, V'panecha, Ki Mitzyon Etzet Torah, Ki Mitzyon Etzet Torah, U'devar Adonai v'Yerushalayim, Baruch Hashem, Torah, Torah, Baruch Hashem, Torah, Torah, Yom Yisrael, v'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu Gadol, Adonenu Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Adonai
Ramoma, Ramoma, Shemo, Yachad, Lecha Adonai, Hagedula, Hagedula, Tiferet, V'hanetzach, V'hahod, Yikol Hashamayim U'aretz, Yikol Hashamayim U'aretz. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu, al shoshan devarim, al shoshan devarim, al shoshan devarim, halam halam omer, al shoshan devarim. Al shoshan devarim, al shoshan devarim, halam halam omer. Al Torah ve'al ve'al gemilut chasadim, al Torah ve'al avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Seated. So, in our Torah cycle, we are at the very end. Tomorrow, Monday night, we're going to celebrate Simchat Torah. We're going to finish with the death of Moses, and we'll pick up again with the beginning of the creation. The last portion in Torah. Gets a little short shrift. It never really gets read in its entirety because it falls in this time when there are so many holidays that instead, on this Shabbat, Chol Hamoed Sukkot, Shabbat, in the middle of Sukkot, we have a special portion that is that which is read on pilgrimage festivals. So we're rolling back from the end of Torah, where we'll pick up again on Monday night, to the middle of the Torah. So line back from being ready to go into Egypt. We're now at the foot of Mount Sinai. And the episode with the golden calf has happened, and God and Moses are both furious with the people, and Moses pleads with God for forgiveness, and God is ready. God is so angry. God is ready to destroy the people, but Moses prevails and promises to give them, and God thereby relents and promises to give the people a second set of the commandments. And Moses says, prove to me that you still like us, that we're still your partners in this covenant because of this rift with the golden calf. And Moses says, I'll know it if you show yourself. And God says, kinda. Nobody can see my face, but I will pass before you and proclaim the attributes of God. And this is what is associated with these holidays, the declaration of the attributes of God. Interestingly, the rabbis do something very interesting with this, which is that it ends talking about God's forgiveness. God forgives all transgression and pardon and sin. And in Torah, it goes on to say, but God does not remit all punishment, visits the sins of the parents on the children and children's children to the third and fourth generation, though extending generosity to the 1,000th generation. And the rabbis take this, which we recite all the time on Yom Kippur, and they cut off the last part about God visiting the sins of the parents on the children. They say, no. Later on, Ezekiel says, the children shall not eat bitter grapes because of the sins of the parents. And that part is no longer operative. We're just going to end with God forgives all iniquity, transgression, all our failings, period. ... Leave off the rest. The holidays are a season of forgiveness, and so we're going to pick up with that. So if you're following along, this is where you have to get the other book. They are mostly under the pews, and you can follow along if you are here with us in this Chumash, where it'll go in English or the Hebrew, starting on page 540. If you're joining us virtually and you don't have this book, you can still follow along in any biblical text. It's Exodus chapter 34. Starting with verse 1. Shara, you want to do the first one? Yeah. For me.
Here's Torah Bat Sarah Bat Asher.
Amod Shirat Zipporah Bat Sarat Bat Asher.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bacharmanu mikol ha'amim v'natamanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
34, verse 1. Amen. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe v'salachah shnei luchot avanim karishonim uktabti al haluchot et הדברים אשר היו על הלוחות הראשונים אשר חיברת ויהי נכון לבוקר ועלית בבוקר אל הר סיני וניצבת לי שם על ראש ההר ואיש לא יעלה עמך וגם איש לא ירע בכל ההר גם הצאן והבקר אל יראו אל מול הר ההוא.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam atah b'tokeinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. How are you, Lord? Amos, Esther בת Aharon. Baruch Adonai Barak Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'chai banu mitzvot ha'anim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And it is customary when reading the divine attributes to rise as hymns. Two places. The other is the Ten Commandments, where we rise during the prayer. Amen. Vayipsol. Shnei avanim karishonim. Vayashkem Moshe b'boker vayal el har Sinai kasher tziva Adonai eloto. Vayikach biyado shnei luchot avanim. Vayered Adonai v'anan. V'yetze imo sham, v'yikra b'shem Adonai, v'yavur Adonai al panav, v'yikra Adonai Adonai el rachum v'hanun, erech ha'chaim v'rach chesed v'emet, notzer chesed la'alakim, notzer avon, v'fesha v'chata, v'nakeh lo yenakeh, Okay, Avon Avon, Avanim, Avenei Vanim, Al Shaleshim, Sha'al Rebeim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah v'chayei olam atah b'tokeinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Please be seated. And we're going to do a one round behind you for prayer for healing. Mishabera, I invite anyone who has people who you are holding close at this time, or people you're holding in your prayers for healing, to feel free to speak their names.
Maybe we could hear David Mercy did have with the news square.
Joe Sneaker, Don Sneaker.
Mishabera.
Shira.
For healing, sing along, page 170. That last week. You say.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayimaher Moshe, vayikol arza v'yishtachu, vayomer imna matzati chen v'einacha Adonai na Adonai v'kirinu hi hamkeshe orach hu v'solachta Adonenu l'chatotenu v'nechaltanu Vayomer Hinei Anochi Orei Bree Neged Kol Amcha Esed Niflaot Asher Lo Nifreu B'chol Haaretz U'b'chol Ha'chaim V'ra'ah Kol Ha'am Asher Atah Mikirbo and Maaseh Adonai Hino Rahu Asher Ani Oseh Imam.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Mishaberach for all who have been called up this morning. Mishaberach Avinu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Yimotenu Sarah Rivka Kavalaya. ויברך את כל אלה שעלו היום לכבוד המקום, לכבוד הדבר ולכבוד השבת. הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמור אותם ואת כל משפחותיהם, ישלח ברכה וצלחה בכל מעשה ידיהם, וכל ישראל עד חיים ואחריותיהם, ונאמר אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, Bless all who have ascended this morning to honor the Holy One before on Shabbat. May the Blessed Holy One protect them and their families, bringing blessing and success on all the works of their hands, together with our people everywhere. And let us say, Amen. Yinkanal Yinkash Shumnera Yamali Rocker Yamif Mafute Bethayim Onyo Mero Gukayim Israel V'yameru Amen Yeshnei Rabam Emora Eolam Neomaya Yiparat Vishnavat, Yivar Kumad, and Nasemi, the Darvita Levita, to make a good shot, Verimu, Leilani Kobir Hata, Shirata, Usarata, Nami Rambia, V'yameru okay, somebody, big scroll. It is evenly balanced. Need somebody who's feeling off the lift this morning. And the dress, one more person. Rise disabled. Understand? V'zot HaTorah asher samusha lifnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yad Moshe Eitz Chaim hi l'machazikim ba v'tom ha'merusha Eitz Chaim hi l'machazikim ba v'tom ha'merusha V'racheha V'chol netivoteh hashalom V'racheha V'chol netivoteh hashalom So we're going to do something a little different. Instead of the traditional way we read the Haftarah, we're going to kind of share. We're going to let's share the reading. And can I get a volunteer to help me? Thanks. It's customary on Shabbat during Sukkot to read from the book of Ecclesiastes. And Ecclesiastes is an interesting book. It begins probably, it is probably for 98% of the book, overwhelmingly the most pessimistic book in the Hebrew Bible. It begins with the words, Hagal Hagalim Hakol Hagal. Vanity of vanity, futility of futilities, everything in life is vain. It's all futile. And Solomon, who's purported to be the author, goes through all the things he does in his life. I accumulated wealth thinking this would bring me happiness, but vanity. I ate and I drank, I had parties, I married many times, I read all the books, all of it. Vanity of vanities, it's all vanity. And only when we get to the very end he finds in mortality, because this book is really about mortality. It's read in the fall, it's about this going into winter, about life around us, dying back, and the rabbis have an interesting midrash. They say that Solomon wrote 3 books, and that each one reflects a different time in his life, and a different time in the life of all of us, who are God willing, allowed to live into reasonable old age. Solomon wrote Song of Songs when he was a young man. The Song of Songs is, a beautiful, sensuous love poem. It's the song of a young man in love in the spring of the year. And then Solomon writes Proverbs, which is the wisdom of a mature, middle-aged person. And then they say, just before he died, he wrote Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes is the work of a person coming to terms with their mortality. And only in the end of the book, after thinking like everything it's all vain, he says the dust returns to the earth as it was, the spirit returns to God. And what do we have? We have the moment that we're in, revere God, fulfill God's mitzvah. So I'd like I'm going to read the part in the non-italicized print, and the italics are for everybody else. So let's do it that way. Futility, utter futility, said Kohelet. What do we gain by all of our toil under the sun?
Generations come and go, but the earth remains the same forever. All streams flow into the sea, because the sea is never full.
What has happened before shall happen again. There is nothing new under the sun.
The wise and the foolish share the same fate. Both are forgotten, to sorrow and ruin.
Everything there is a season, a time for everything under the sun.
A time to be born and a time to die. A time to laugh and a time to cry.
A time to lose and a time to seek. A time to be silent and a time to speak.
A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace.
God brings about everything in its time. Nothing is added or taken away.
Justice and wickedness are both the same. Humans and animals share the same fate. We would better not having their wars than to see wrongdoing under the sun.
Still, 2 are much better off than 1. Should they fall, one can lift the other.
Be not rash with your mouth, and not hasty to utter a word before God.
One who loves money will never be satisfied. A lover of wealth will never have his fill. This too is futility.
And the name is better than fragrant oil, and the day of death better than the of birth.
It is better to go to a house of mourning than of feasting, for it is the end of every mortal.
Sometimes the righteous perish like righteousness. Sometimes the wicked endures like wickedness.
There is not one righteous person on earth who does only good and never sins.
Eat your bread and gladness, and drink your wine with joy. God has already prepared.
Enjoy life with the one you love, all the fleeting days of your life that have been granted you under the sun.
With all your might, every word you do. There is no activity, nor thought, no wisdom to show where you are going.
The race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. Bread is not won by the wise, nor by wealth, by the intelligent. Time and chance befall them all.
Cast your bread upon the waters, for after many days you will find it.
How sweet is the light, how pleasant for eyes to behold the sun.
Rejoice while you are young, follow your heart's desire, precisely your own eyes.
And know that for all these things God will call you to account.
Remember your Creator and choose your life in the days of your youth, when the days of sorrow come. In years of your peace say, I have no pleasure in it.
This applies to all mortals. God will call every creature into account for everything good or bad.
The rest returns to the earth as it was, and the spirit returns to God who gave it.
Sum up the matter, revere God, fulfill God's mitzvot, for this is the purpose of human existence. We will continue returning the Torah to the Ark back in the Siddur, page 183. Hallelujah, Shema, Adonai, Yisrael, Shemo, Lamado, Hodo, Aleretz, Shamayim, Vayaren, Eren, Le'amo, Tehillah, Le'ol, Chasidah, Livnei Yisrael, Amiro, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Mizmor Ladamid, Habu Ladonai V'nevi, Habu Ladonai Kavod, Habu Ladonai Kavod Shalom, Ishachabu Ladonai Ba'adrat Kodesh, Ol Adonai L'mayim Kavod Yirim, Adonai L'mayim Rabim, Ol Adonai Ba'adrat, Ol Adonai Adonai Lamavu Yahshavei Shabat Melech Leolam Adonai Osnei Yitem Adonai Yevarech Et Amo Shalom. Oh Yom Ilekach Tov Natati Lachem Morati Alta Azogu Eitz Hayim Lamazikim Ba V'Nom Fecha Meusha V'Havera Dar'elam V'Chol Tivotecha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha V'Nashuva Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu So one more handout. So Sukkot, Shabbat and Sukkot, we have all these additional things. So I keep the Torah study short and sweet with one question. And this is what for those who were at our mitzvah class, this is a question I raised. In Leviticus 23, it says, you shall live in booths in Sukkot For 7 days, all citizens of Israel shall live in booths. And here's the reason given. In order that future generations may know that I made the Israelite people live in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I, the Holy One, your God. Okay, so this sounds good. I mentioned to the students, like, if somebody were to ask you any Jewish thing, why do you do this? Why do we do this? And you have no idea, the right thing to guess is, because we went out of Egypt. Because for, 60% of stuff, we do it because we went out of Egypt. It's all in our minds that we went out of Egypt. So that's the reason given. And there's a problem with it here, which is that there's no mention in all the story of our wandering in Egypt, other than this one verse where God says, you should remember that I made you live in Sukkot when you went out of Egypt. There's no record of us ever living in Sukkot when we went out of Egypt. By contrast, there is copious record. Lots and lots and lots of verses that we lived in tents. Famously, Makalu, we sing in the morning, right? It's the words of Bilam the prophet, who's called to curse us, and it's, how good are your tents? That's how it begins, because he's looking down, from a high place, and he sees the Israelite camps, and they're all in tents. He doesn't say, Makalu Sukkotecha. How good are your Sukkot, O Israel? So, how is it that we're remembering going out of Egypt when we dwelt in Sukkot, when there's no record that we ever dwelt in Sukkot when we went out of Egypt? So the Talmud, being the Talmud, which raises questions about everything, takes up this question in Tractate Sukkot, which deals with Sukkot. In the Gemara, the Talmud asks, this works out well according to one who said that the Sukkot mentioned in the verse, this verse that we dwelt in Sukkot going out of Egypt, were clouds of glory, as it is reasonable that the roofing of the sukkah is modeled after clouds. So, the author of this opinion says, we didn't live in Sukkot when we went out of Egypt, literally. It's a metaphor, and Sukkot symbolized the divine clouds that accompanied us and guarded us, stood watch over us as we went through Egypt. They were our sukkah. They were our protection. However, the Talmud adds, according to the one who said that the children of Israel established themselves actual Sukkot in the desert, so we know that, okay, one opinion in the Talmud is that it's metaphorical, but somebody else says, no, actually, there was a time when we actually dwelt in Sukkot. According to those who said the children of Israel established themselves actual Sukkot in the desert, and that the Sukkot of today commemorate those actual Sukkot, what can be said? According to that opinion, there's no connection between a sukkah and a cloud. Then a sukkah means a sukkah. As it is spotted in the Baraita, the verse states, and made the children of Israel to reside in Sukkot. These booths were clouds of glory, is the statement of Rabbi Eliezer, but Rabbi Akiva said they established for themselves actual Sukkot. We have a Talmudic difference of opinion. Big surprise. Talmud is nothing but differences of opinion, right? So we have Rabbi Eliezer who says Sukkot are the clouds, read it metaphorically, and Akiva who says no, they actually lived in Sukkot at some point along the journey. So, the commentary. So is the sukkah, on the back page, is the sukkah commemorating the literal booths that the Israelites lived in the desert, or the divine clouds that sheltered them? Let's see what each of them represent. The sukkah mamash, the real literal booth, is a temporary dwelling. We'll look at ours outside, we'll go out in the kitchen there. You'll see it's already, the roof is falling a little bit. It's a temporary dwelling. It doesn't have 4 walls, permanent walls, or a fully covered roof. It's easily taken down, put back up, and good for travel. It doesn't offer true shelter or security, and anyone who has spent the holiday in a sukkah knows its inconveniences as well, right? So the rain will come through the roof. I slept out in my sukkah last night, and I slept out with Jonah, and at about 5 in the morning, he said, "Dad, I'm cold. I'm going inside." Not much shelter from the weather. When you dwell in a sukkah, you are subject to nature's whims. At its base, you have to spend time in a literal sukkah to embrace your own vulnerability. It's to reject the fallacy that you have full control and you learn to live in flexibility and fluidity. Okay? So the literal sukkah reminds us that life is fragile and we're frail and it's short and things happen and we don't have control over when the wind blows and when the roof starts falling off. There's all kinds of stuff like this in our lives that we want to control, but we don't. On the other hand, the cloud interpretation. If the literal sukkah is a rejection of shelter, meaning it doesn't give you much protection, the divine cloud is the ultimate shelter. The Israelites were safe in the wilderness, a place where they should have been most vulnerable because they were under the direct protection of God. God's cloud shielded them from the elements in a way that a sukkah never could, and it defended them from enemies when Sukkot are easily destroyed. So for the true meaning of Sukkot to be clear, we need both Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Eliezer, which is, again, this is the Talmud way. There's always a difference of opinion, and we need both opinions. Sukkot is not just about vulnerability, as in the literal sukkah, and it's not just about protection, as in the divine clouds of glory. It's about a recognition that as human beings, we don't always have the power to be in complete control, but that if we surrender our need to be in control, there may be someone else out there taking care of us. So relax, let go a little, and revel in your insecurity. It's man simchatenu. Sukkot is the season of our joy. A little vulnerability can be a wonderful thing. So, comments, questions. Does one of these interpretations appeal more than others? Where do you go with this? Yeah.
It's dumb because I love it.
Uh-huh.
And reading, we get the first one first. They kind of go together, but as you were reading the description, 4 walls, fully covered roof, though it's easily taken down, easily put back up, good for travel, doesn't always do shelter security. Anyone who's been automatically, I'm thinking, it's talking about us. Me, honestly.
Right.
I'm exposed, I'm vulnerable. I have to learn to kind of go with the flow. I have to learn how to be flexible in life. What the sukkah is doing out there is just simply giving me kind of a concrete metaphor of myself. And then the clouds were such a beautiful way of saying, in the same context, like
Yeah. Yeah.
I always wondered where they would even get materials in the desert to build a sukkah.
yeah.
Right. That's the question, right? Like, stock for your roof, like, what's growing there? I mean, I guess if you're an oasis, maybe you have some palms, but yeah, 600,000 men of military age, 1.5 million people wandering in the desert. Like, there are not enough trees to create roof for a literal sukkah in the desert. That is, hard to imagine.
Wasn't it said that those clouds rained down food, that manna from heaven? Or was that true?
Kind of. Those clouds made manna doesn't exactly rain down. Manna comes up actually from dew, but the clouds make the dew, and from the dew on the ground, the manna comes up. So they do. clouds create condensation, right? So the clouds do provide food. It's just, it doesn't rain. It comes out with the dew. But the big point is, yes, those clouds are real protection. They're food. They're shelter from enemies. I mean, that's serious protection, right? And both of these things are true, right? We look for divine protection and strength and security, and we also recognize that, we're vulnerable creatures, right? And Sukkot is that's why we read Ecclesiastes, right? Sukkot is really about recognizing our vulnerability, recognizing our mortality, and that's the really interesting piece is that's the commandment, the holiday when we're commanded to rejoice, right? So we're asked to confront our mortality and to be vulnerable, and the vulnerability is supposed to take us to a place of joy, right? So live your life, enjoy your life. When the sun is shining, make hay and be in the moment. I mean, it's really a holiday about mindfulness.
I always think Ecclesiastes is the balance of life because, as we stated earlier, all of the things, whether it's justice or injustice, truth, lies, you live it all. There's no, and one without the other can raise you or take you down. It's this balance. But one of the most beautiful things I ever heard from somebody was a woman who used to drive a Holocaust. She says, hunger is the best food in the world.
Yeah.
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 All right. About 10 years ago, I read that Egypt told Israel, you owe us $4 billion in gold that you took after Exodus.
With interest selected, right?
Yeah, right. And Israel said, I'm sorry, but the statute of limitation is passed.
4,000 years, yeah.
But I see things in metaphor, but sometimes I see things realistic, I think that perhaps maybe with $4 billion in gold, going to the desert for 40 years, they may have found some merchants that they could purchase to make the.
Could be. Although they spent a lot of that gold on the golden calf. And that's where a lot of it goes to not such a good purpose. But it also goes to the Mishkan, the tabernacle. Remember that. Beth, we're going to give you. Beth and Naomi, you're going to get the last word.
Does Talmud or Torah say what you're supposed to do if your sukkah blows down?
Yeah, you put it back up again.
It does say. I mean, both metaphorically, I ask.
Right, which is metaphorically true, right? We break down and then we do our best to put ourselves back together again, right? That's part of the, that's part of the endeavor, right? And, we don't always come back together quite as neatly and beautifully as we were before we fell apart a little bit. And in some ways we're more beautiful because we're put back together. Like the Japanese pottery, right? The gold they used to repair it. Yes.
So what did the Jews in Fort Myers do this year? Build up.
That's good, but that's it. They built back. They could.
Is there a place in Torah where they specifically tell us how to build the sukkah?
No. But there is a place. There is a place. In general, in Jewish life, the Torah just gives you like the idea, and the Talmud gives you the how-to. So Torah just says build a sukkah. It's like one line. Talmud, there's a whole tractate on how you build a sukkah. So
in the Torah, though, there's a different word for the sukkah.
Yes. Sukkah is a sukkah, head is an ovel. And just to end with a humorous note. since there is a tractate that tells you how to build a sukkah. So there's a guy who wants to build a house. And he goes to his rabbi. Because, rabbi says a lot about how to build houses. You should ask me that. I can't hammer a nail. So he goes to ask the rabbi, and he says, Rabbi, how do I build a house? And the rabbi says, there's a minor Talmudic tractate Batim, tractate of houses. Tractate Batim, hidden tractate that I've discovered. Read the tractate, and you'll figure out how to build your house. So the guy reads through the tractate, he studies it, he builds the house in accordance with the tractate, finishes, looks great, goes to put up his mezuzah, hammers the first nail in the wall, the house collapses. The whole house falls down. Goes back to the rabbi, he says, Rabbi, whole house. Hammer the mezuzah, he says, Rabbi says, you must not have studied the tractate well enough. Go over the tractate twice this time, with a good Hebrew partner, and try it again. Studies with a good partner, finds the great scholar of his age. They study tractate Batim. He builds the house, goes to hang up the mezuzah again, whack, 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 collapse. Twice more this happens. Rabbi keeps sending him back to the tractate. Finally goes back to the rabbi and says, Rabbi, I've studied the tractate. I've worked in exact accordance with the tractate, and every time they're hammering the mezuzah, house collapses. Rabbi says, let me study the tractate. I'll get back. A week later, he calls the guy back. He says, I studied all the tractate. The guy says, no, so? He says, deep in Rashi's commentary, he notes this problem. So, there's a lot on how to build this like that. But it's not. So, with that, we're going to pick up the concluding our section of the service back on our Siddur. Page 203. Yekadal Mikadash Shemei Rabbah. The Allah records maybe the top with me, but I only on my phone, but I ate a photo of Israel. I love his man Kareem Yebru Amin. Yeshmei Rabbah Nevorah. Leolam Lo Me'al Maya. Yeshara. Kibarat Shabbat. Kibarat Mani Naseh. Yeshadar Yelod Kal Shemei. Kud Shabari Fu. Leilami Kober Chata Lishiratat. Jizbatat Lehmatat Rabbi Lami Ru Amin. We also on the police truck and I'm Mishmael Ru Amin. Nishal Rabin Shmai Haman. I will go with Shobin Ru Amin. Osishal Mirabi Asishalom. Lewishalom Ru Amin. In Elohim is 204.
Amen.
Rise as able for Olympics 205. Aleinu Shabat Ladon HaKol Lategu D'Maliut Separation Shelo Asanu Kogi Haratzot Velo Samanut Mishpachot Adama Shelo Samhu Kidu Kahem Vego Aleinu Ketro Amonon Vanatu Korim Umishtahavim Monim Lifnei Melech Malkei Amlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'nemar V'hayah L'melech HaOretz Vayom Hanu Vayom Hanu Yireh Page 207. Behold in our hearts now all those who have been dear to us, those who have died at this season in years past, those who have died in recent days. I invite anyone who has someone you are holding in your hearts, your prayers for Kaddish, if you would like to speak the name, feel free to do so. G.K. Shine, Nadiv Hanan, Rabbanan Sada.
Tony Corona.
Dear
Zevanam of our time, may their memories be for an abiding blessing. By the mourners and all whose custom it is to rise for Kaddish, page 207. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemay Rabba, Yalmad, Yibrak, Yirtay, Yamlichal, Yitay, B'chayefon, B'yonefon, B'chayeh, B'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'adalat, B'zman Karev, Yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba, Barak, Ve'olam, L'mei Almaya, Yitbarach, V'shtabach, Yitma'ar, Yitmam, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitalem, Yitalal, Shemei, Yitshah, Yirifu, Le'ilami, Kol Birkat, Hadashiratat, Tushbachat, Hadanatamatat, Ta'amiran, Yamad, Yimru, Amen. Yehei Shalom, Rabban, and Shemaiah, B'chaim, Aleinu, Yokol Yisrael, Yimru, Amen. Vosei Shalom, Yimramat, Yasei Shalom, Aleinu, Yokol Yisrael, Yimru, Amen. The one who makes peace on high, let peace descend on us, on all Israel, and all the world. And may comfort be with all who mourn. And let us say, Amen. Seated. Immediately after our concluding song, we will do Kiddush outside under the sukkah. I'm going to apologize to Sandy. I'm changing the concluding song. You prepared a don olam.
Len has it.
Len, I'm changing the concluding song because I had a request during the bar bat mitzvah class for the banjo. So Piper, this one's for you. And it's a song that we'll sing on Simchat Torah on Monday night. So consider it a kind of practice go round too. It's a standard Sukkot Simchat Torah song. The chorus goes like this. Mi pi. Mi pi el, mi pi el, Yevorach Kol Yisrael. Mi pi el, Yevorach Kol Yisrael. And there are a bunch of verses that come in between. Actually, it's an acrostic. It goes in the order of the Hebrew alphabet. Thank you to Eddie for keeping us connected. If you're watching us online, and to Len and Sandy for the music. And I'm going to start with a verse. Ein Adir Kadonai, Ve'ein Baruch, Ve'ein Amram, Ein Gedolah Kadonai, Ein Darshan HaYisrael, Mikiel, Yehovah Yisrael, Mikiel, Yehovah Yisrael, Ein Adir Kadonai, Ve'ein Gati, Ve'ein Amram, Ein Ta'ata Kadonai, Ein Ta'ata Yisrael, Mikiel, Yehovah Yisrael, Mikiel, Yehovah Yisrael, Ein Tahor Kadonai, Ve'ein Baruch, Ve'ein Amram, Ein Ta'ira Kadonai, Ein Moden HaYisrael, Mikiel, Yehovah Yisrael, Mikiel, Yehovah Yisrael, Ein Kodeh Kadonai, Ve'ein Baruch, Ve'ein Amram, Ein Kedusha Kadonai, Ein Kodeh HaYisrael, Mikiel, Yehovah Yisrael, Mikiel, Yehovah Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom,
Well, actually, when we read the whole evening, that is Shabbat Shalom. and the dance.